Hey future GGs, my name is Kevin. I'm a senior officer for grants and awards at the University of Ottawa. I wanted to thank you for joining me today in discussing the various ways you can fund your education. There are three main parties involved in financing your studies, and in this presentation we will focus primarily on government financial aid. Let's get started. What is government financial aid? Essentially, government financial aid is broken down into two main components, loans and grants. So loans are non-repayable as long as you remain registered as a full-time student in an approved post-secondary program, and it will accrue no interest during your studies. Grants are in addition to your loan and are completely non-repayable. Note that the Financial Aid and Award Service is responsible for the administration of financial aid from all government programs. That leads us to our first government program, OSAP. OSAP is the Ontario Student Assistance Program and is available for Ontario residents who are Canadian citizens, permanent residents, and protected persons. There are applications for part-time and full-time students, and these applications are usually available as of May. We do recommend that you submit an early application because you may be entitled to a 30-day grace period for paying tuition fees. With OSAP, you have flexibility with the way you receive your funding. You can choose to accept both the loans and the grants, or if you prefer, you can put a pause on the loans and only accept the grants. And if necessary, you can later return to those loans that you put on pause. If you'd like a better estimate as to how much funding you could expect to receive for the next academic year, you can use the OSAP Online Aid Estimator on the OSAP website. Our next program is Aide financière aux études for Quebec residents. Aide financière aux études is the Quebec financial aid program for Quebec residents. Just like OSAP, the online application will be available as of May. Please note, the Ontario tuition is taken into consideration when calculating your loans and grants with Quebec. We are aware that Ontario tuition is higher than Quebec tuition, and this will factor into your calculation. For a more accurate estimate as to how much you could expect to receive in the next academic year, we invite you to use the online calculator on the Quebec Financial Aid Program website. Applying early may entitle you to a 30-day grace period for paying tuition fees. We simply ask that you send us an email once you've completed and submitted your Quebec Financial Aid Program application. Important notes. It's important to keep your file updated with your provincial government aid program. That means updating your address, email, or any pertinent contact information. It's important as well to read all of your documentation thoroughly. Remember that a good relationship with the National Student Loan Center builds good credit. And lastly, do not forget to report any changes to your course registration as soon as possible. Any changes to your course registration could have an impact on your funding. Special circumstances. When calculating your government financial aid, in some cases, your parent or your spouse's income could be taken into consideration to calculate how much funding you'll be receiving. Now, we are aware that with this current situation, those incomes may be significantly impacted. Please note, there are processes set up to assist you in this situation. For Ontario residents who are applying to OSAP, you can complete the Request to Use Estimated Income Review form if your parents' or your spouse's income has been significantly impacted by the current situation. This will allow us to review the estimated income for this year instead of analyzing your file with the income from the previous year. This form is usually available in June or July, and your regular OSAP application must be complete and processed before you submit this review. For Quebec residents who are applying to the Quebec Financial Aid Program, you can complete the Declaration of Income Drop of at least 10% if your parents' or your spouse's income has been impacted by the current situation, and that form is usually available in May. For all other provinces and territories, we ask that you inquire with your respective provincial or territorial government loan agency for more information. And that concludes our presentation on government financial aid. Don't forget, applying early will benefit you and help reduce any stress related to financial planning. We invite you to stay up to date by visiting your province or territory's financial aid website. You will find pertinent links in the description box below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you wish to stay updated on campus affairs. And keep watching for our next video on uOttawa funding opportunities.